Well, welcome. We are seriously so excited. This is like one of our favorite calls, really just answering your questions about whatever it is that you have questions on. So in case you don't know us, I'm Kelsey and this is Dean.
And I'm Dean. Yep. So you might know us by now. If you don't,
Yeah.
welcome and thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
I like to play a little fun game in the chat window. I would love to know your first name, and because some of you are coming through as iPhone, there's no name, and so I don't know what your name is. So I would love to know what your name is, where you're from, and then I thought you had one more. Their name,
where they're from, and like one thing that really stood out to you that like made you interested in this call tonight.
Yeah, like why are you excited to be here? Like,
why are you excited?
So first name, where you're from, and why you're excited to be here.
That's three things. Should we put that in the chat thing?
Yeah.
I'll write it in the chat while you keep talking. You can share where we're from and all that stuff.
Yep. So we are from Kansas City. So it's actually a suburb of Kansas City, which is known as Shawnee. We are married. We've got 3 little girls together. Let's see what else. We've been doing this business for 6 years. I have been doing it for the first year I was pretty hesitant, so I will call my situation more like 5 years. But Kelsey has been doing it 6 years. So
can everybody hear us okay?
I probably should ask that first.
Well, Marissa's saying she can't hear us. So she was wondering if it was just her. And I was like, oh no, can people hear us?
We have done a call. We have done an entire call where people couldn't hear us. So that would suck really bad. Okay, Autumn can hear us. Can we get a thumbs up if you can hear us? All right, getting some thumbs up.
Cool. Sorry, Marissa.
Hey, Marissa. She can't hear us? Okay.
What are you going to say?
Well, I was going to tell her sometimes when you get out of Zoom and get back on, it fixes the problem.
I did see her jump off, so she probably was trying to fix that.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get this started. So let's see. Yeah, guys, in the chat window, just put your name and where you're from and why you're excited to be here tonight, and we will get this thing going. All right. So we shared we're from Shawnee. Who's going to go first? Who's doing it? Katie? Katie's going to go first.
There's a chat. Like if you're on your phone, you may have to swipe. I'm trying to remember. There might be a swipe option. If you swipe, there's a chat. There's like a chat, almost like if you were talking on Facebook Messenger or Instagram DM, that you can type all that in. So cool.
Katie, is it letting you do it? It is? Okay.
There she comes. She's Katie. She's from Colorado. She's excited to get healthier for herself and her family. Pay it forward.
Cool.
Woo! I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Katie. All right. So the purpose of this call is you guys are probably interested in the influencer program and our mentorship. They're one and the same. So don't get them confused.
Right.
So if you've heard about one, they're both the same. We just lumped them together. So if we invited you to this call, if Kelsey invited you to this call, if Marissa, if Katie invited you to this call, that means that they think that you would be a really good fit, or I would think you would be a really good fit, or Kelsey thinks that you would be a really good fit possibly for this. Our thing is that we want to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered, because the last thing that I want is people coming on to our team and then having no idea what's going on and what they're getting into. So we have a team of ladies that are ready to hit the ground running, and we put people and take action right away into our mentorship, and it's a lot of fun when everybody's excited to be there.
Yeah.
So the goal of this call tonight is to make sure that we get your questions answered. So do not leave this call without getting your questions answered. We have some here on another computer that if you filled out a form for us, we're going to address them. We have some very common questions that we get that we're going to address. But if you have a specific question and if you don't ask them, I'm sending the FBI to your house tonight to get those questions out of you, okay? And do not message me and say, oh, I thought of a question. No. You were too scared to ask it on the call, and now you got me in a private message, and now you're going to ask it. That's not allowed. I'm going to say, sorry, you should have asked in the meet and greet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not serious. But serious, I am serious about asking your questions. I want you to ask your questions.
There's no dumb, silly, stupid question.
Guys, I asked a lot of stupid questions. Like, Kelsey, are you going to, when you do this, like, are you going to have to strip for this, or you get to keep all of your clothes on?
That is a stupid question.
That is a stupid question. So, but I did give her a hard time like that in the beginning. So,
oh boy.
Anyway, if it's a stupid question, leave it up to me. I can probably figure out to ask one. Okay, you guys, we're going to ask good ones. So let's do this. Let's dive right in. Why don't you explain a little bit about the mentorship, like what it offers, what it's about? Like, I don't have a big social media following. Let's go through that.
And I honestly kind of want to back up a little bit. And I want to like share that with my story. And if you've been following me, you probably know my story a little bit. But I started 6 years ago just wanting accountability for my health and fitness. Like I just wanted to make it a lifestyle. And I was so up and down, up and down, up and down. And I, not really like in fad diets or anything like that, but more of like eating healthy, working out, and then I would stop. And then I would work out, eat healthy, and then I would stop. So I was just like constantly on this roller coaster, and I so badly just wanted to make it a lifestyle. Like, and I didn't want to deprive myself from anything, meaning if I still occasionally wanted a glass of wine, cool. If I still occasionally wanted a piece of pizza, cool. Like I didn't want to have to eliminate anything, but I wanted to make this a lifestyle so bad. And so I got into coaching because I just wanted that accountability. And I knew that I've let myself down a good handful of times, that if I was going to link arms with other people and I was going to say, let's do this together. So it's not about me knowing it all. It's not about you knowing it all. It's really just saying, let's link arms and do this together. It's like having an accountability partner if you were to show up at the gym and saying, let's meet up and let's work out together, except for this is like a million times better because you don't have to work out at the same time and you don't have to do the same program and you're doing it in the comfort of your home if you want, and you're just checking in and saying, yep, I did my thing. I got it in. And so you're just holding each other accountable, and you're also like picking each other up. Like we do life together. And so it's also about picking each other up when life does happen, because life does happen. Like kids get sick, you get sick, a setback happens, work gets crazy, you're traveling, like those things, that's life and that happens. And so we need people to say, come on, let's keep going. Let's figure this out. How do you make this work when you travel? How do you make this work when your kids are sick? How do you make this work when X, Y, and Z is happening in your life? And so I really believe that this is the accountability that has kept me going when life has thrown me a curveball. So that's what I needed. And I got in.
Well, we all know the secret to fitness and health, right? There's no shortage. There's no shortage of gyms or memberships or personal trainers or nutrition programs out there. Like you can Google nutrition programs and get one, right? There's no shortage. People fail because they don't have accountability, because life gets in the way and then they don't have accountability. It's not because the gym is closed or because there's not enough nutrition guides out there, right? That's not it.
Right.
It's the community and the accountability.
Right.
So, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I got in and I quickly was hearing these stories of people that were seeing success on the business side of things. Like I was hearing from stay-at-home moms, from doctors, from lawyers, from nurses, from hairstylists, from teachers, like from people who didn't even graduate high school, like all of these people who are seeing so much success on the business side. And you heard they all had different backgrounds, but they were all different personality types. Some were really quiet, some were really outgoing. And then there were some people that were super fit, like they looked like they could be in a magazine. And then there were other people who like still had 50 pounds to lose that were really successful with this in the business side. And so I was hearing all these stories and I started to develop this mindset, like, why not me? And I signed up in February, and every year Beachbody has like these big annual conferences. And so I decided to go on a whim. Like I was just like, I just feel like in my gut, I need to go. and I didn't have the money, and I had to work that weekend. That was the weekend I had to work as a nurse, and I had to finagle it to make it work. I ended up rooming with a girl I'd never met in person.
Never even met this girl. And I'm like, well, this is the last time I'm going to see you, honey. You're probably going to room with an axe murderer. I'll see you later.
Good luck. But I roomed with this like stranger, and we're just, and I get to know her, and we become friends. And her name is Laura. And I asked Laura, I was like, what do you think it is? Like, you're seeing all these successful people. Like, what is it? And she goes, Kelsey, I really just think it's time and consistency. That's the secret sauce. And I remember thinking, okay, well, I'm going to stay the course. I'm not going to quit. And I'm going to stay consistent. And I'm going to continue working on me and growing me as a person. And, I really like here 6 years later, and that's the secret sauce is time and consistency and working on yourself and always trying to improve and become that best version of you possible. And that just bleeds into every area of your life. It's not just impactful in what we're doing here, but it bleeds into being a wife, bleeds into being a mom. It bleeds into, if you work outside the home, it bleeds into those areas. It just makes you a better person. If you've read or if you follow Rachel Hollis at all, she talks about, go ahead, because I'm going to mess it up. The tides rise. I always mess this up. In my head, I'm like, I want to say it right, and I'm going to mess it up.
So she says when the tides in the harbor, come in, all of the boats rise. Meaning, in the analogy is like in your life, whenever one area of your life you're working on improving, every other area rises together like a harbor full of boats. Right. So you ever notice like you work out consistently for a week and you notice like you're more conscious about what you put into your body when you eat? Like you're like, oh, I worked out so hard. I'm going to start like really taking care of the food I put in. Same is true with this. Like you start caring more about every aspect of your life. And then all of a sudden you start getting your finances right and you start doing a budget and you're just like doing all this weird stuff you've never done before.
With your time
and you're like better at your relationships and like you're more committed and like
you don't want to kill your husband. Yeah. And Legally Blonde, I always think of that. She's like, endorphins don't make me happy, and happy people just don't shoot their husbands.
Okay, I'm glad we've recorded this. We're on a recorded line, so if I come up missing, guys, you know.
No, but it's so true. So, long story short, like that is my story in a nutshell. And what I'm so passionate about and why I really believe this is because this isn't one of those like you get in and you make $10,000 in your first month. Like that's a scam. What we do here is not a scam. Like this is truly one of those, like you have to have the long-term mindset. I call it more of like the crock pot mentality versus the microwave mentality. You really have to know like where you want to go in like 3 years from now and really have that vision crystal clear to get there. And enjoy what you're doing. You have to enjoy helping people. Like that has to be a part of who you are naturally. You just, if you found a great straightener, you're going to tell your best friend about this great straightener because you just love helping other people.
Me too.
I have an example. I follow this blogger and she posted in her stories that Abercrombie & Fitch was having 50% off. I screenshot that bad boy. I sent it to my hairstylist because she just talked about how she loves Abercrombie, and I did that today. So if that is like who you are, like you know of people that like certain things and you see it and you want to share it, like this is for you because you're just naturally going to love to help people. So I love to call this lifestyle influencing, and here's why. Yes, you're a Beachbody coach. Yes, we're coming in to work on ourselves with health and fitness, but I do not want any one of you to become a different person as far as like change who you are. I'm not going to make you, I'm actually drinking Shakeology. I'm not going to make you like
fill your Instagram feed with those, right? We all know that person.
I'm not going to make you do that stuff. I don't do that stuff. Like if you see me do that, like you will never see me do that. So what this is all about is health and fitness is a slice. So think of a pie, and we're going to call this a pecan pie because it's my favorite. I'm an old lady at heart. So it's a pecan pie. A slice of your pie is going to be health and fitness because that is one area that we're all working to improve every single day, even myself. Like I'm just working to make progress every single day. So that is a slice of your pie. But your other slices of your pie is just who you are. It's things that you strongly believe in. It's things that you love to do. It's things that you do on a daily basis. So for me, it's like I love to share date night things and making my spouse a priority. I also love sharing my kids and like the motherhood, the highs and the lows of motherhood, like just because I know that there's other moms out there going through that same season in their life.
Hell.
But it's also the best. It's like motherhood is such a roller coaster, and it's the best thing ever, but there's definitely days it's challenging. So I love to share that piece of it. But maybe you're a person that loves DIY and you love, maybe you're, fixing up your home, or maybe you love to travel. Like sharing those things as a part of who you are is perfect. And so that's what we teach you. That is what we teach you in our mentorship, is how to do this and how to authentically help people and it be genuine to you because it's exciting to you. Another thing I love to share, I'm sure if you followed me for a while, I love systems. I'm a systems girl, so I have a morning routine. I have an evening routine. I have a laundry routine and a dishwasher. Like I have all these like little routines going on because it keeps me sane. And I love to help and share that with other moms that are working full time, or maybe they're stay at home and they have a bunch of little kids and it's crazy. And so to have some sort of structure allows them to breathe a little bit. And so I love to share those things on my social media. That's just part of who I am anyway. Like I would share that if I wasn't a coach. I just love to help. And so that's what we teach you how to do. And so, like I said, a slice of that is going to be health and fitness, but that's just a slice. There's other aspects of who you are that people are going to be drawn to. So I never want to change who you are or going to make you post certain things. I'm just asking you to share your story and to share who you are as a genuine person, so that when I meet Jamie in person, or when I meet Victoria in person, or when I meet Haley in person, I'm like, she's the same person on Instagram stories as she is in real life. Like I feel like I've met my best friend, and it's really cool. And so that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we teach you in our mentorship. So,
and plus, like, you don't want to be BSing someone on Instagram stories and then they meet you in person and go, hey, how do you like that rosé wine? Oh, it's pretty good. Oh, bull crap, on your Instagram, you said you hated it.
You said you didn't drink wine.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So, like, I don't want to be called out in person. So I am the most transparent that I can be on social media, so that when you meet me in person, it's the same Dean on social media.
Yeah. And I think we just had a new coach call the other night, and one of the girls was like, I just don't know what to post. And I said, well, what do you struggle with? And she said, I struggle with getting in my vegetables. Like I really just struggle with that. And she's like, I'm just nervous to post about that because will people want to join my free group if I'm not, if I'm not perfect? And I'm like, you need to share that. And as hard as that is, it's the truth, because that's what's relatable to people. I know there's other people out there that hate vegetables. So I'm like, find a solution for yourself and then share that as a tool and a resource. My example is I am not a morning person. I'm a work in progress morning person. And I had to develop a system. And if you follow me, it's the Snooze You Lose challenge. That like holds me accountable. Literally, I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I'm up. I have to post Snooze You Lose. It like keeps me accountable to getting up, because I know if I don't get up, then my morning is just shot. And so I have to, like, it's just non-negotiable for me.
That, and people are going to call you out.
And people call me out. Yeah. Like, where you at? So I had to create that system because that's something I personally struggle with. And so it's going to look a little bit different for everybody. But anyway, that's a little bit about our mentorship as far as like the lifestyle influencing part of it. What it looks like when you say, yes, I'm ready to do this thing, is you'll email whoever invited you to this call and say, I'm ready. And what we'll do is we'll set you up with a package that's going to fit your goals. So there's not like a one size fits all kind of package. It's really like figuring out, okay, what do you struggle with? What do you need? What's going to help you get through, and hit your personal health and fitness goals? Don't worry. You don't have to stock product, which was like a million monkeys off his back. He thought we were going to have to like move our vehicles out of the garage.
And I thought, I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have to move my Camaro out into the street, and the garage is like back up the pallets of supplements into the garage. And then I thought there were going to be weird people in my living room every Saturday Kelsey doing presentations for people and like making shakes in the kitchen. And my kids were going to grow up with these strangers in the house. Like this is what I'm visualizing. Right. And so I'm like telling her like, no, hell no, no way. We're not doing this. You're not doing this.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest fear is like people doing that with their social media. And I was fearful that she was going to turn into that on social media. Like you ever go to the mall and like you're trying to get something real quick, and there's that dude like in the middle like trying to sell you straighteners or slap bracelets or whatever the hell, or like a massager or whatever, and you're like, dude, like you grab your phone and act like you're talking to your mom, even though everybody around you knows that your mom's not on the line, just so he doesn't make eye contact with you. That's who you can be on social media if you're not careful. Like if you're just like blasting your products and stuff. So that was the fear that I had. And I'm like, okay, if we do this, promise me you're not going to turn into that, because I work with a lot of people whose wives do that and they're not doing it anymore because it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. And I did not want to lead with that. That's not like servant leadership. That is like buy from me, BOGO sell leadership. Like I don't understand like when people do that, like what kind of connection are you making with people? Like what relationship, what makes you so special to think that I'm going to buy from you and not her over here? You know what I mean? Like, so we teach you to try to build that relationship and connect with people and figure out what they need. Maybe this isn't exactly what they need. Maybe it is. Like, let's talk to them. Let's have a conversation and let's work through the issues or the struggles that they have and figure out what that is and get them the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, hey, I'm just here for the sale. Like, you want this shit or not? Like, I hate when people do that. I get DMs every day. When I get DMs from Beachbody coaches that do that, and I'm like,
I know. I'm glad we don't train people that way.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that you can't tell that I'm a Beachbody coach. That means I'm not blasting it. Good, check. But second of all, dude, how good is that working for you?
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Like, how's that working out for you? If it's not working out for you, change it. But, you know, I politely say, no, thanks. I'm good. But anyway, that was my fear when I started this. So I was hesitant, even after she joined. I was hesitant for a long time.
Yeah.
But she started to do the things that she promised. She started to get results, like physically, like everybody, like we all want to look good naked, right? Like, can I get a hand up if you want to look good naked? I do. Okay. Yeah. Whoa, everybody's going crazy. Look at that. I got two hands. So I want to get results. I want to look good naked. She wants to look good naked. Everybody's happy, right? That's good. But what I was noticing was even more important was the mental transformation with Kelsey. Is she was becoming a more confident person. She was becoming like her goals were more clear. Her destiny of where she was going, the woman she was becoming with this, because she was helping other women along the way. And she was literally like up at night trying to figure out how she can make her next boot camp even better. And I'm like, dude, go to sleep. You're weirding me out here.
Yeah.
But it was true. Like, because she kept getting messages of people like, Kelsey, this is working. Look at this gap between my stomach and my pants now. Like, I got to go buy new pants. And it really like lit a fire under her. And I'm like, okay, well, I've spent a lot more money than it cost her on stuff that I didn't get anything out of. I could have just thrown it down the highway and got more of satisfaction than, you know, whatever trinket I bought. But she was getting this community. She was starting this community, and her social media was still the same. It was still the same old Kelsey, the same old G, right? Original gangster right here, Kelsey Shackley. On social media, she didn't change. She didn't become this product robot, okay, blasting links and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a chance. And she invited me. She didn't nag me. She invited me. She said, hey, you should come do these girly workouts with me. Like, I know they're super girly, but you should just do it. Like, think of the view. And I'm like, oh, is that a challenge? Like, you don't think I can do these workouts? Guys, I almost died. I almost died with these girly workouts, okay? But she invited me and not nagged me. She knew if she challenged me, that would get me to go do the workouts in the basement with her.
Yep.
So anyway, long story short, after all that, over time, when she understood and how to work the compensation plan and make this actual a business and help other ladies make it an actual business, it's really hard to be the hater when she starts paying the mortgage with it. Okay, I sit here 6 years later after she joined, and we're doing this full time. So I got off my hater throne and I started going, okay, like, how can I help you a little more? Because I noticed I didn't have to spend my paycheck on the mortgage. So that means I can go buy something, right? And like, so I was a little more pleasant about it. And I was a little more excited about it. I'm like, are you going to pay the mortgage next month? And she's got my attention at this point. And so it just kind of went on and on and on and just grew into what it is today. But I'm not saying this, that it happened overnight, like tomorrow you're going to be rolling around in a Lamborghini, and it doesn't happen like that. It's like, it takes time. It takes commitment. It takes paying attention, being engaged, and learning from your mentor, and doing things that are scary sometimes. But you know what was really scary? Was looking in the audience of the nurses that she worked with and them being there for 14, 20 years and a job they were not happy with. And they grew up and they went through their job as something that, like, you know, we never saw each other because I would work the weeks, she would work the weekends, and we never saw each other. And it was really scary to both of us to go, wow, we could do this for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, I think one day it just hit me. Like, I was working, and it was women that were at retirement ages, still working 12-hour shifts, still working holidays, still working weekends. And it was, one of the girls was like, yeah, I've been doing weekend option now for 11 years. And I was like, Ruby would be like 15. Like, it kind of freaked me out. And I was like, I have an opportunity in front of me. Why? Let's like roll with this. That I can create my schedule and I can be out of debt and I can, like, all the things that I had visualized for myself. I'm like, why not me? Like, why couldn't I do this? And so, yeah, sorry to interrupt there, but I just,
so my point was, yes, we're going to push you outside your comfort zone because that's the only way you grow. You know that, I know that, but our mentor did that for us. And it wasn't as scary as thinking about 10 years, 15 years from now, living that same life that we weren't really satisfied with, knowing that we had to change something, we had to start it now.
Yeah.
It scared us more to stay that way than it did to post on social media. I could do that. Like, if that means that, like, I get to do this full time and be with my kids all the time and, like, not have to travel and work for months away from my home and sleep in my own bed, and, like, oh yeah, like, posting to social media, that sounds easy compared to all that.
Right. So
that's the real eye opener that happened for us. So, and that's kind of my story. And
yeah.
Sorry,
I'm glad you shared that. That's good.
That took a little longer than I liked. I hate when I do that. I got off on tangent.
You got kind of chatty.
I got off on a little tangent. I must be nervous.
So the mentorship, what will happen is we'll set you up with a package that's, like, right for you and your goals. So we don't have to stock product, nothing like that, which is really awesome. It's just the things that you're going to need to get results, right? So once you do that, then you'll receive a welcome email with next steps. And we plug you into our mentorship, which is super simple. It, like, lays out all the social media things, like how you open up your bio and the things you should post and Instagram stories and all of the things that you need to know to truly grow your network, grow your business. Because I know a lot of times, I know for myself, I have like 100 followers on Instagram. And I remember thinking, I don't even know enough people.
Instagram was a filter app. Does anybody remember that? It was just there to take pictures and put a filter on it.
Yeah.
Like we had no following.
Nope.
There was no following.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And Marissa that's on, when she started, she didn't even have Instagram. She started with Instagram when she started as an influencer. But so we will give you all of those tools and resources for you that you can just like consume. And the biggest thing with this is that you want to consume it. Yes. Like it's so good to be a student, but then to take action immediately on what you learn. Like action is like, it trumps anything. Somebody once said messy action is better than no action. And I 100% agree with that. We're taught, and I had to like change my mindset when I started this. We're taught from like a really little age, you go to school and you study and you study and you study and then you take the exam, where this is like the opposite. It's like you study a little bit, you take the exam, even though like you haven't studied really.
Like you haven't even finished studying.
Yeah, you haven't finished studying.
And you start screwing up to see if this is going to work.
Yep, that's exactly how it is. But
if you don't screw up, if you don't mess up, you never know if it's working or not.
You learn through doing in this business.
It's kind of like my carpentry skills.
And
messy action is better than no action. I'm not watching TV.
Honestly, I know there's some nurses on here. Like you go through nursing school and you kind of graduate and you're like, I kind of know what I'm doing and I kind of don't. It's like once you get your job that you're like, you start to feel confident with putting in an IV and you start to feel confident with the skills. It's the doing part where you really learn. And the same is true with this, is the doing part where you're going to learn. So, we have all that set up for you. We put you in a small group where it's a messenger thread with people who are at a very similar spot in their business with very similar goals so that you can bounce ideas off of and you can ask questions in there. And it's a really safe environment for that. Dean and I are also in there every day. So one of the biggest things in being successful with this is leaning into the team, asking questions, making sure you're staying engaged with us. Occasionally we'll get people and they're like, I feel lost, or I don't even know where to start. But then they haven't been engaged. They're not, plugging themselves into things, and you have to stay engaged with us. Like that's the one thing. That's like showing up to work. Like you're not going to get paid if you don't show up to work, right? So it's that same kind of concept.
I challenge everybody to do that. Like just like go to work when you want and see like what happens, okay? And see how successful you are at your job. Like the same is true. Like I'm being funny. Like don't do that. And then because your boss is going to come to me and go, "What the hell are you telling people?" But don't. Yeah. But it's really true. Like you can't just show up when you want to, right? Same is true with this. Like you got to show up. And guys, with the mentorship, we have action steps like right after the training. Like as you're going through the training, like this isn't like we just listen to the teacher and take notes. No, we apply. We get to work. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, are we good with is there anything that you wanted to include on the mentorship piece of it?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything. I hope.
I think we did. I think we got there. Cool. Okay. So I have your questions pulled up here. And if you have additional ones, like definitely put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself too.
You guys listen. You've had to sit here and listen to me ramble. It's your turn to make this an interactive call. This isn't just Dean's show. Okay. Like help me out, unmute yourself. Let's chat. Okay. I'm not going to make fun of you. Guys, listen, I'm nervous to talk to you, okay? Let's do this. Yeah. All right?
Okay, let's go through some of these questions. Somebody said that their biggest fear is failure. How do you overcome that? And so, honestly, you won't fail. Like if the only way you fail is if you quit. And I truly believe that. Like if you keep going and you stay consistent and you lean in and you stay engaged and you're constantly pushing yourself out your comfort zone and you're doing, like we have a tracker of like a checklist essentially of everything that you need to do. If you do those things, you're going to see success. You will. So the whole failure thing is only if you quit, only if you stop trying, only if you don't show up. That's the only way that you'll fail. So how do you overcome that feeling? I believe the fear of failure is kind of like that fear of overwhelm. Like, I know we've all probably been there where we felt a little bit overwhelmed with something. And I always feel better when I take action and I like write down. So like when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just need to do a brain dump and then I prioritize it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the laundry first. And while the laundry's going, I'm going to do this. Like I have this plan. Then I feel less overwhelmed. And I think the same is true when you have that fear of failure. You just have to like take action. And when you take action, you feel better and you're like, I didn't die. I posted to social media, or I invited that person, or I did that workout and I didn't die. I survived through it. I think I could do it again. And this time I'm going to do this a little bit different, because you're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about whatever. Like, I'm going to do this a little bit different. Maybe you worked out and you didn't wake up early enough, or you worked out in the evening and you're like, never again, because then I was awake all night long. You tweak it. And the same is true with this business. So taking action is really how you get past that fear of failure, I think.
Yeah, I've never met a toddler that got up on their bike, crashed, and said, screw this, I'm done. I'm not trying this anymore. Heck no, they got back on, and they're like, okay, instead of leaning to the right, I'm going to lean to the left a little bit. Same is true with this. Like, you got to get back. The only way you don't learn how to ride a bike is if you quit getting back on and you quit trying, okay? We have failed a lot at stuff, okay? We just kept getting right. Maybe we're just stupid. Like, we just kept getting back up on that bike, and like, nobody's going to tell us we can't ride that bike. Okay. Same is true with you guys. Like, you're going to keep getting back up on that bike. You're going to have us helping you, and you're going to have us like helping you take your training wheels off. And then bam, you're going to be gliding down that hill, and we're going to be like, slow down. You're going to be like, no, this is fun. So same is true. Like, you guys, we're going to have a lot of fun with this, and you're going to get a little scrapes, and you're going to fall a little bit. That's okay though.
So I love this question. This one makes me excited. With all the different online companies that include marketing and social media, there's that fear of the unknown in terms of overhead costs, being unable to sell items. What are the initial costs of getting started, and what makes the team different than others in the industry? So yes, there's lots of different companies out there. What I love about what we're doing, because, okay, I'm going to back up a little bit. I was the person that was like, and no offense to any of you if you've done another, network marketing company, but I was the person that was like, never will I ever be in network marketing. Because one, I suck at sales, and two, that's just not me. Like, it's just not me. And then I found Beachbody. And here's why I love Beachbody. It's not a fad diet. It's not a get rich quick. It's not selling product as far as just like an item. Like, it's not a purse. It's not lipstick. It's not all those things. Like, I love all those things. I own a purse. I own lipstick. I own all those things. But health and fitness, like real good old fashioned hard work and fueling your body with the correct nutrition, is what I believe in. That's like my own mission. Like, that was what I wanted. That's what I needed in my life. And I can get behind that because it's just good old fashioned hard work. And I believe that is what truly changes people's life. A purse doesn't really change your life. Like, you're like, oh, I love this purse. I like it. I really love it, or whatever. But when you feel good in your skin, when you put on an outfit, when you can walk in your closet postpartum and you're like, I can wear anything in here and I feel like I could rock it, that changes how you feel. And how you feel, having more energy, being more confident, rolls into every area of your life. And that doesn't just impact you anymore. That impacts your husband, that impacts your kids, that impacts walking down the street and smiling and waving at your neighbor. Like, that changes lives. And we have our team has what's called Conquer the Kitchen, which is our family-friendly meal plan that we just give to you. And so you can use that. You can pass that on to the people who join you. It's like, use that. It's awesome. But what I love about this is that, I always say, when we help people, we change a life. Yes, we absolutely change a life. But more than that, we're changing a family. Because you all know that the mom is the one that mostly you help a lot with cooking and stuff. But the mom is the one that's usually doing the grocery shopping, the one that's like cooking the dinners, the one that's doing all those things. Hey, I do the grocery shopping. I know you do. I know. But in a lot of households, that's how it is. And so when you're in charge of that, it feels like a lot of weight and pressure on you. But when you get started with this and you have Conquer the Kitchen and all these tools and these women that are linking arms and all the things, like now you're not just changing your life, you're changing your family's life. And you're inspiring your family. And then you go to work and you're then inspiring people in your work. Like this changes lives. And that's what separates us. And it's not a fad. It's just good old-fashioned working out, eating healthy, having a balanced life. We're not cutting carbs. We're not cutting fat. Like we're truly like doing it, in my opinion, the right way.
We're not cutting wine either.
We're not cutting wine either. And I just like, I think when I got started in this, I wasn't a mom yet. And I just had this vision of being a mom. And I was like, I don't want to do something that I wouldn't be proud to do in front of my children. It was like one of those things that I'm like, if I can't eat carbs, like what is that telling my kid? Or if I can never have a pizza, what is that telling my kid? Like I want my kids to see this and, you know, model that. I want to be an example. I want to serve my body and I want to respect my body and I want to move my body because I love my body, not because I hate my body. And so you can tell I'm very passionate about that, but that's what I really believe.
We've got 3 kids. You're trying to wake up.
I know. I'm like, because I really believe it. So that's what I believe. That's why I believe it separates. So yeah, I love that question. That was a good one.
So I think one of the questions was, what is the cost?
Yeah. So
overhead.
Yeah. So the cost of getting started really just fluctuates again based off what you need. But I would say the average cost is like $160 to like $220, just depending on what products that you need. And again, it's just for you. So usually people get the Beachbody On Demand, which if you're not familiar with that is the online streaming of all your workouts. So it's like the Netflix of fitness. It's just like that. Literally, you get on, you stream all your workouts, you pick a workout program based off what you like. Do you like weights? Do you like cardio? Do you have an hour to work out or more like 20 minutes to work out? Do you want an 80-day long program or a 3-week long program? So you really get to customize it based off what you like and need. And what's cool is like you do a program and then you're like, cool, I'm going to try this program next. And you don't have to pay anything more because it's a year, it's an annual membership there. So that's Beachbody On Demand. And then there's a couple different supplement options, again, just based off your goals and your needs. You can get all of them. I'll drink them all because I love them. In fact, we ran out of Energize this week and we about died. We had to run to a friend's house. We were like, what?
Yeah, it's like a drug deal.
My go-go juice. I was like, I can't, I need that. So, okay. Oh yeah. I said the price. I said price weird. Pros. But the only other cost, so you'll get 25% off everything. And, the only other cost is a monthly website fee. So that pays for like shipping to your customers. It houses your website. It, covers all of that, your customer service, and it's $15.95 a month. So it's like nothing. It's pocket change. I always think if I was to open up a Chipotle down the street, I'm like, it's going to cost me a lot more money because now I'm going to have rent. I'm going to have to hire employees. I'm going to have to buy all the food. I'm going to have to pay electricity. So it's going to be way more than $15 a month. And I say Chipotle because I love Chipotle. But I would never open one because of the cost. Let's see. Other questions? Are there requirements to have to gain, well, hold on, to gain a certain number of followers before you can take part in the program? No. I mean, like I said, Marissa started, she didn't even have Instagram.
1 follower. If you have 1 follower, you can participate.
If you have 0 followers, you can participate. That's a good question, though.
Does everybody have 1 follower? I think I'm up to 2 now.
Probably most people have met me on Instagram. I love Instagram, especially Instagram stories. I just feel like.
Is everybody on Instagram?
We connect so much there.
All right. Cool. I think so. I think most people are.
What does it all involve and what is the time commitment? So time commitment is truly based off your goals. So it depends on if you're coming in and you're like, I, would love to earn a free trip. I would love to do this, very much I'd like to earn like a part-time income. I would like to pay for groceries and pay for date night and pay for maybe some of the bills in my home. Or it depends, like I want to like really change my life. Like in 2 years, I want to be making a 6-figure income. I want to be able to quit my full-time job. I want to, be able to travel a lot more. I want to get debt free. Like it depends on how big your goals are and what your dreams are. It really depends on the time. But for me, when I started and I had that vision planted for me, and I was like, I want to earn 6 figures. Like I want to do this thing. I want to change my life. I only live once. That was been my thing. I only live once. I have one shot at this life, one shot to live a legacy. And so I was like, I'm committing 2 to 3 hours a day to this. And so when I was working 12-hour shifts, it wasn't maybe 2 to 3 hours on those days, but by golly, on the days I had off, I did spend more time on it. And so I would say, 10 to 15 hours if you truly want to make this thing a 6-figure income in like 2 years, for sure. And you can do it. I've seen people do it in a year, but they're putting in more time. So let's see. And then there's people, I know there's some people going to college. I actually have Faith. She just graduated college and she's making.
They actually have what?
What?
They actually have what? You don't
Well,
think you finished the question. What was the question?
Well, this isn't really a question, but she's going through school, dental. She's just graduating and then go through dental school and the balance of everything. And I was just going to say Faith's story. She just graduated college.
Oh, yeah.
And how she was graduated and she's got a degree and she's not even going to use it because she's making more money with coaching. So she bought an RV and her dream now is to travel around the United States in her RV and do her coaching business. And I'm like, that is amazing. At 22 years old.
Her and her dog.
Her and her dog. It's so cool. So it's definitely doable, as you can see, as a college student. Let's see. I think that's all the questions. I'm going to make sure nobody else hopped on. I'm going to make sure I got everybody's questions. And anybody else? Okay, Megan. Okay, hold on. Karen asks, what are the time commitments? We talked about that. But again, it's not like we're like, you didn't work your 2 hours today. It's really like we're not micromanaging like that.
Here.
Yeah, we're not micromanaging like that. This is
entrepreneurship. This is like your business, how fast you want to build it. If you don't get your work done, that's like it's like going to college. Like you don't show up to class. Hey, that's on you.
Yeah.
It's same with entrepreneurship.
Just gonna see what questions. What if my following on Instagram isn't great? We did talk about that. Well, we have all of the tools and resources for you to help you improve. And if you scroll back, like if you have the time and want to scroll way back, you'll see mine wasn't good either.
Yeah, and another common question is like, how do I grow my Instagram to where I'm not just like bugging my friends and family, right? Like that's another fear of people is I don't want to just bug my friends and family. How many of you guys know Kelsey that because she's a friend or family before this? Nobody. Okay. So we have different trainings that we're going to put you through that show you how to engage and how to grow your Instagram account with new people so that you're getting new eyeballs on your stuff and your post and that you're getting traction from not just your friends and family. Okay. So just wanted to use Kelsey as an example because I don't think anybody knew Kelsey as a friend or family member before they probably saw a post of Kelsey's on Instagram or whatnot. So everybody that Kelsey meets is usually a new person.
Yeah. So. Let's see. We have a couple questions. How long before you were hustling before it felt like it was paying off? Honestly, it felt like right away because I was seeing a difference in my own self. And to me, that was like. But
let me capitalize on that. You went all in right away.
Yeah.
You went all in right away. Like you knew like, this is what I want to do. And if I can literally, her mentor sat her down and said, Kelsey, do you have the potential of making 6 figures with this business? Kelsey said, I'm going all in then.
Yeah.
I'm not half button. I'm putting my full ass into this.
I'm not half pregnant. I always love it when you say that.
I'm not half pregnant. I'm going to get full pregnant with this.
And I'm not pregnant, just to be clear.
Knock on wood.
Not pregnant. Okay, back to that. Before I was paying off. So when you come in and you're like, I want to work this thing, that first month, we would love to help you get your own product paid for. And then starting in the second full month, we would love to see you start earning an income. And then it just builds and compounds over that. So, it does take a couple years though to really build it to be like a full time. It's one of those things that it's true with any business. If you were to start any business off the ground, you're going to invest a lot more time than what you're going to see back on it right away. As far as financially, you're going to be putting in the work and you're going to be showing up and you're going to be doing the things and you're like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, it's starting to kind of take off. And then you're like, okay, just got to keep going. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, my income just doubled. And you got to keep going. It just doubled again. And that's kind of how it works. So it's just one of those things that you just put in the time, and that's why you have to love helping people, and you have to love the journey of feeling healthy in your own skin and giving that to other people. So
would you recommend using your current Instagram or making a new one specifically for this?
Current Instagram.
Yeah, I would use your current, just because it takes so much effort to get a new account off the ground. And when I say getting it off the ground, like getting even anybody to look at it. And that affects, like, that all plays a role with the algorithm and your following and stuff like that too.
Well, and we're not asking you to vomit Beachbody. You're just so like I think that was Victoria that asked that. Your Instagram is really good. Like, I would not change a whole lot about that, except for occasionally now you're going to share a part of your fitness and health journey. You're going to sprinkle it in with what you're already posting.
Your following is going to probably not notice a whole lot of difference. Like, other than maybe you're posting a little bit about your workout or your whatever. But yeah, don't think that you're going to have to like scrap your whole Instagram because this is a new me and I'm different. No, this is going to be the same OG, right? You're just working on improving yourself a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of it. Whatever you may need. Maybe it is a little bit. Maybe it's a lot of it. Maybe whatever you look at it. But it's going to look very, very similar. So I can't reiterate that enough. Don't scrap your Instagram because it is good. Kelsey was showing me. It is good. All right. Would I miss another one?
I don't know.
No, I think we got it.
Any other questions tonight? I love seeing your faces, like Haley and Megan and Karen and Victoria, Ashley, Jamie.
As you can see now, why this is one of our most favorite calls, probably my favorite call. I just love when people are engaged and interacting, and I'm not the only one talking, and I'm not the only one asking questions. And yeah. Well,
not only that, but I'm like, oh, Jamie's a real person.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to people on social media and you see their posts, you see their kids, and you see all the lives that are happening. And I'm like, oh, so cool to actually get to see you on a call. So.
Is that all your questions? We got everything answered. You don't have any more? You guys are easy.
Okay, so here's the deal. We will only take 5 people in our mentorship right now. And that's because
Dean and Kelsey.
Yeah, Dean and Kelsey. Sorry, I should specify that.
Good thing you brought me.
Dean and Kelsey are only taking on 5 people. And that's because we want to pour into you. We really want to get to know you. We really want to help you. We really want to finagle this. If you take on too many people, I found it's harder to do that and still be a good mom and be a good wife and all the other things that we have to do.
And still work on looking good naked.
Still doing that. So we are only going to accept 5 people, and we're starting Monday. So if this is something that you're like, okay, I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to be a leader in my life. I'm ready to rock this thing. I'm going to link arms with Kelsey. She's going to show me the way. I believe that I can do this. Then email me and we can get you hooked up and I can get you next steps.
But do it tonight.
Yeah.
do it tonight so that we can start talking back and forth about the packages and what you guys need and whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because once those 5 spots are like, you can see like how much time and energy we put into just this call. We do this times 10 with our team. So we can't have like 15 people or everybody suffers because of that. We pour in a lot of time and energy with people. So make sure that if this is something that you want to do, if you're here to build a business and you want to make an income with this, like you put your name in the hat right now.
Yeah.
Tonight. So, I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed this call tonight. I hope it was helpful to you guys. I hope it got your questions answered. I loved the back and forth. I loved your guys' energy. I think all of you would do really good and be a really good fit for this team. I want to make sure that it's going to be a good fit for you too. So get in contact with us, and I hope to be speaking with you soon. And I know Kelsey feels the same.
Oh no, Jamie, that's not a silly question.
What?
I kind of am embarrassed. I go back and watch that story and I'm like squealing like a little girl. My bee sting is okay. Thank you for asking. Oh, that's so sweet. I was like literally talking to a girl on Instagram, and this thing flies by and I'm like swatting it thinking it's a fly, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure that was a bee. And then it came back to sting me. So that was good. But
Megan says it's almost midnight here and I have
twins,
twins, so you know I'm ready.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Twin mom here too. That's so cool. 2 twin moms on.
I know.
Anybody else have twins?
Me.
Well, I know that.
All right.
Man. Twin moms, you guys are bulletproof. You are.
Gotta be, right?
Yep.
All right, you guys. Well, this is fun. Looking forward to chatting with you more and really working together to accomplish your goals and your dreams and your vision for your life. So
yes, Irish twins count.
They do count, Ashley. Yes, they do.
All right, so 4 twin moms on.
Yep.
Dang
it.
All right, guys.
Have a good night.
Good chatting with you. We'll see you soon.